Hi friends, Beck the Feminist Lawyer again. As a conflict management professional, I've had a lot of people come to me and ask me how they can handle the uncomfortable situations that come up with friends or family members when they say things that are bigoted or hateful. How do you handle it when someone says something misogynist or bigoted, etc.? And I think they all expect me to say something to the effect of, well, we need to keep the peace, and here's this conciliatory language, or you can ask all these questions, etc. That's not what I do. Part of being a peace builder is knowing what peace actually is. And peace actually is a world where bigotry is not accepted, where misogyny and homophobia and transphobia are not accepted, where they are absolutely spat out of our mouths as soon as they arise. Peace is definitely not about acquiescing to the opinions of the privileged. And here is something about bigotry and hate that I think most people don't really realize, is that bigotry does not hurt the privileged unless other privileged people make it hurt. White people do not suffer from racism. Straight people do not suffer from homophobia. Cis people do not suffer from transphobia. Men do not suffer from misogyny. So we have to make them suffer for it. They're never going to change their minds as long as it benefits them and as long as they, at the very least, are not bothered by it. So my opinion is this: I don't break bread with bigots. If you're going to say or do or even support misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, racism, then I'm going to call that shit out and I'm going to remove myself from either the situation or even the relationship. You cannot tell someone that you love them and then go vote for someone who will hurt them. So, look at me. I'm white as shit. Racism is not my issue. Well, it's definitely my issue, but I'm not the victim of the issue. So I could very easily just, sit back and listen to racist old Pappy Joe talk about, how the South will rise again and, go ahead and hang out with those guys that fly Confederate flags and hang out with those women who, walk a little faster when there's a black man near them. I could just stay quiet. And I wouldn't necessarily benefit from that, but I at least, would save myself the trouble of the argument. But that is privilege, and I refuse to exercise it. White racists are not going to listen to the voices of BIPOC. They're only going to listen to other white people, and they're only going to hear you if it hurts for them to continue being bigots. And the way we make it hurt is to make them uncomfortable and to deprive them of relationships and to have the arguments. We have to bring it to them. So that friend from high school that you just never really unfriended and is always posting bullshit about how the Jews have space lasers and, the Jews are running everything and that Warren Buffett is to blame for everything that's going wrong in this country and that, black on black crime comes up every time there's a racially motivated shooting. You need to bring it to that person and you need to let them know that they are going to lose their relationships with white people if they continue that shit. It's not safe for BIPOC to do it. They're getting shot over it. They're getting killed over it. They're getting incarcerated over it. They're getting thrown out of legislatures that they got voted into. It's up to the white people to bring it to the white people. I hate to put it this way, but as a white woman, I have got to be a human shield for black women. I've got to be a human shield for the Latinas in my community, for the indigenous women in my community, because their voices are being muted right now by the white community and mine isn't. And I, as a woman, I'm not even as powerful as a man would be. So if you're a white man watching this, you better step the hell up. You cannot just be not racist. You have to be actively anti-racist. And that means bringing it to the dinner table. That means bringing it to the family reunion. That means unfriending that bigot on Facebook. That means getting into the argument with the guy who's harassing the black woman in the store. Bigotry does not hurt the privileged unless we make it hurt. We need to make it hurt. Stop breaking bread with bigots. There is no reasoning with hate. There's no reasoning with it. There's only making it so uncomfortable a practice that they give it up. We need to make them feel ashamed of their hate. We need to make them feel humiliated by their hate. Because if logic could prevail, it would have prevailed already. So I am all in favor of making that dinner party really uncomfortable. And I am all in favor of cutting out people who absolutely refuse to support you for being who you are, or to stop bringing their hatred and their bigotry to you. I am all in favor of punitively removing yourself from relationships with people who support politicians who would want to hurt you, or any marginalized community, who support organizations that want to hurt marginalized communities, including churches. I am all for punitively removing yourself from these relationships in order to make it hurt, because we're not going to make any changes any other way. Other than marching, going to the ballot box, this is the most powerful move we can make as white people, as people in general. I mean, the BIPOC out there, you can do the same thing. I mean, I know that bigotry is not just a white issue. There's bigotry all over the place. There's homophobia and transphobia all over the place. Punitively remove yourself from those relationships. We've got to make bigotry shameful, and we've got to make it hurt. Stay safe out there, friends. Keep fighting the good fight.